Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear, and I'm here to build a Lego set, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, or you can use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk, and that's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It's cold outside. It's warm in my room because I've had the computer and all the monitors on all day. And also the heat is on. But yeah, Lord Crashton is here. Hello, Lord Crashton. But I hope you're well. I hope you're warm, unless it's very hot where you are, in which case I hope you are cool. I hope you're comfortable no matter what. We had snow. The snow started coming down yesterday, which is a wild thing. We're at a toasty 22 degrees. Yeah, that's not toasty at all. Inside the house, comfortable. Outside the house, currently 28 degrees around here, so not much warmer than you, Lord Crashington. This is the coldest of the nights, so all of the snow that began to melt a little bit today is going to refreeze. So that's fun. But yes, last night, snow came down here. A reminder, I'm in South Carolina, and I'm not in the part of South Carolina. The western, northwestern corner of South Carolina does get snow on occasion. We don't here. I'm near the town that's on the beach, is what I will say. So we're inland a ways, but not. It ain't long to get to the beach. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. It does not take long for me to get to the beach. So much so that the town I am near has beach in its name. So that's what I'm saying. I am close to the water. But we don't get snow around here. Usually it's not this cold until mid-February, so that's fun. Today, you know what? Hey, let's go to the overhead as I talk about this. Yes, Lord Crashington, you have properly doxed me that I live in Butt Beach, South Carolina. It's been a while since we had the green. Very excited about that. We will be working with the green here, building something. And we are, I'm going to widen just a hair. I'm going to widen just a hair. There you go. We're working with our green here. Thank you. And we are assembling. Ooh, I forgot to put this in because with the jigsaw puzzle, I needed all the room. So we'll put that back up there. You can see this is a Lego Red Dragon 3-in-1. You can see that we're going to be building a dragon that we'll disassemble. We're going to start with the dragon. Then we are going to build the fish and then disassemble that. And then we're going to build the bird and then leave it as it is, probably. Or I might rebuild the dragon just on my own. I don't know. But it's been a while since I built some Lego. We did take a break from the jigsaw puzzle to work on the other Lego set. The Lotus Flowers Lego set and the puzzle were all purchased by Aristofan. So shout outs to Aristofan out there for buying all those things for me to build, which has been very fun. Or assemble, I guess. I was saying assemble with the jigsaw puzzle because it's not really building. It's just assembly. Anyway, this is a small little Lego set that I'm excited to work on. And I do have my brick separator right here, my handy dandy brick separator, so that we can take this apart and then build it again. I've got my pieces here knolled by color, so that's good. And we're just going to go through and build. So today, I didn't tweet about this. I skated about this on the old Blue Sky, that I spent a portion of today cleaning up the driveway of snow. The snow was a small layer and was already kind of melting, but the ice underneath, because we started with freezing rain, that didn't want to come up. Now, do I have a snow shovel? No. Do I even have do I have proper tools for this job? Not really. We do have a shovel, but it's meant for, digging a hole in the ground, not necessarily cleaning up your driveway. So my solution, and maybe I'm putting air quotes there perhaps, was I got out a backhoe, and I just started whacking at the ice to break it up. And then I would break it up into chunks, and it wasn't thick, but it was there. It was something I had to deal with. Actually, I almost used the wrong pieces. I want the big verts, not the small verts. We want these. There we go. Did the right thing. Got it done. So yeah, so I like got out there, and then I had all this ice chunks, and so then I just swept them with a broom, with a big push broom. Did I hurt my back in the process? Yes. Yes, I did. Thanks for asking. I should say that more when I ask rhetorical questions with obvious answers. I should thank for people for asking those questions. Yeah, so I did. Hey, I'm 44 years old. I'm going to be 45 this summer. I am in my mid 40s. There's no getting around it. 44 is also my mid 40s, but now I'm in the second half of 44. I'm in my mid 40s, and that's just how we are. That's just how it is. And as someone in their mid 40s, I can tell you that doing labor often requires proper stretching. But even with proper stretching, I have not shoveled snow in many years. And the last time I shoveled snow, I had proper equipment, like a big heavy-duty snow shovel with a long handle. And also, the last few times that I shoveled snow, it was just steps going from the entrance to the apartment, because the apartment, the building that I was living in, had some steps in the front. So in New York, I lived on the second floor of a house. My landlord and his wife lived on the first floor. So often they would shovel, but in the evenings, and I would arrive from work much later than that. They'd be asleep. I'd be there late at night, and I often, just because the shovel was just right in the vestibule or in the entrance way, I would grab the shovel and I would just shovel off the walk just to make life a little easier, right? Easier for me when getting up the next day, my roommate who would get up in the mornings to do stuff, or just them, like just a nice thing. That is the extent of me shoveling and the last few years. And that we didn't have snow in 2019 and 2020. So it's, I'll admit, I don't remember. We didn't have it in 2020. 2020 was a very mild winter, and I didn't shovel at all. The year prior, I do think I did shovel. So I will say that. I do believe that I did shovel in 2019. So it's been a few years since I had to do any kind of snow-related activity. It's, again, very weird to think about there being snow. Because, there are people out here with trucks, yeah, but, nobody's got four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Some do, but the natives don't know what they're doing when it comes to driving in the snow. Maybe they understand you go slow, but nobody down here understands that sometimes a layer of ice can form that you see through. Like, when they think of ice, they think of it being, like opaque, and not the term black ice being a thing. And they are not prepared for ice to show up, seemingly at all. Lastwick says, I also learned from an Instagram reel recently that shoveling snow, then lifting the shovel to toss it aside, is what makes it a big heart attack risk versus taking the shovel of snow and pushing it aside. Yes, I do not do... Even when I have a proper shovel, I don't do the lift over your head thing or shovel up. You either push the snow or you do small little lifts to kind of just move the snow along. But in fact, that lifting motion is what leads to a lot of heart attacks, yes, and heart troubles. I caught my dad yesterday. The car in the driveway had a lot of snow accumulated on it, and he was out there knocking the snow off. But he was then standing where the snow had fallen around the car, and I was like, this is a job for me, not you. So that's why I cleared the driveway before anyone else could. I was going to clear the driveway. I believe my dad was waiting until it was, later in the day where the sun had been out for more. But I was like, no, I'm going to do this now, because they were going to leave the house. And I was like, I need help take care of this. And I did. And I felt good about it. It is, yeah, it's rough out there around here, but, you know, we're dealing with it. It's just snow. Like I said, mostly it's the other people that are around that you have to worry about, because they don't know. Like I said, they don't know about black ice. They don't know about snow drifts. They don't know. Like, we don't have enough snow here to really accumulate to make it a huge problem. But it is, like, still a thing that you have to be cautious of, because I don't know how good people are going to be about, like, their own safety. Like, how fast are they going to be driving on these roads? Because again, they don't see anything and they don't know to be prepared, because, oh, it's now 4 o'clock and the sun has already gone down because of the time of year we're in. And then all of these, you know, the temperature's dropping, and now all of the snow that melted into water that you can just kind of drive right through is now freezing again, which will make for, obviously, unsafe work, you know, conditions. So we'll see. We'll see how people do. I need 2 little red corner friends. Where are you? There they are. I found them. I got all my red over here. So here, I got my things situated. It's nice to be back to doing this kind of build. Obviously, we did do that other Lego set, but I really enjoyed the jigsaw puzzle. I'll say that. We'll do a little more post-mortem on the jigsaw, and I enjoyed the jigsaw puzzle quite a bit. I am not in a rush to do another one, but I did enjoy it. I would do it again. I would do another puzzle anytime. And also, a friend of mine was like, hey, I only caught a couple streams. How many times did you say puzz? Which I guess is a thing that some people say. It sounds like it's more like a meme that, like, a couple people said puzz, trying to shorten puzzle, and then it became a joke. And so I did respond 0. Of course, now I have said it. But in the process of assembling that jigsaw puzzle, I never called it a puzz. And you know what? I'm proud of myself for that. And, you know, it would have sounded weird if I had said it without any context. Oh, you know, just working on... Yeah, I've been working on this puzz for a while, and it's coming along pretty great. Yeah, that just doesn't... That doesn't feel like something that I would say. All right, we'll put that there. Okay. I don't think we're going to get through all 3 of these, because I will have to disassemble, but I do think that we're going to build 2 out of the 3 on this stream. I'm fairly confident we'll build 2 out of the 3, and probably some of the 3rd one. And then that means that on Saturday, hey, guess what, folks? On Saturday, I'm going to build a model kit soon. Like, the thing that I inarguably, have this whole stream for is model kit building. And then eventually it was like, oh, I could build Lego too. Like, pretty quickly I was like, I could also build Lego, and that would be fun and a change of pace. And then jigsaw puzzles were never a thing that I thought I would ever do, but here we are. Mainly because when I originally envisioned this, my original vision was that I could do this anywhere at any time. And my whole setup was portable, which is nice to have that, but is a ridiculous idea. My original idea was that I was going to be portable, and because I didn't think I could stream from my apartment. And it turns out later I couldn't because of my internet connection. But originally, when I first started doing this, I didn't want to do it from my apartment. And so I was doing it from the office that I sometimes worked out of, that was owned by the same theater that I worked for, because I was able to get space for free and just do that. And then there were rooms there that had a wired connection. So that was very convenient for what I was doing. But yeah, I started out with a very portable system. So the idea of a jigsaw puzzle where I would have to, you know, transport that, like, that never would have occurred to me, because it would have been very silly for me to do it, to do that. But the model kit that I'll be working on Saturday, I should say, is Char's Gelgoog. I have it here. This is Char's, Zegok, not Gelgoog. We built the Gelgoog. This is Char's Zegok. It's just a Zegok, but it's red and pink because it's Char's. My $10 patrons voted for that to be the thing that I worked on next in December. But then the jigsaw puzzle and these 2 Lego sets arrived. And as always, friends, they get priority. The least I can do for the folks that are spending their hard-earned dollars on model kits and Lego sets, and in this case, a jigsaw puzzle, the least I can do is do the build as soon as possible. So even though basically most of the month of January is dedicated to one person's Amazon purchases, it's still fun. I'm still really excited about it. And so I owe a Char's Zegok, and so I will be building Char's Zegok next. That'll be a pretty quick build. That's like a stream and a half probably. And then I'll do as I start that, I will do a poll for my $10 patrons who have not had much opportunity to vote. They voted on, you may remember that I recently did the Lego build here in between. I did the lotus flowers. They did vote on which flower or which Lego set I was going to do as the break. And then, of course, that won. So I did the lotus instead of this. Which now I'm doing, of course. And that made sense to me. Is this supposed to go like this? Or is it supposed to go in the center? Go like that? No, it doesn't go like that. Okay, so this goes like this. These instructions right now, at this very moment, I am not loving. This goes like this, and then this goes, I think, like that. Yeah, okay, and then that is going to go like that. Nope, that just popped right out, so that's not right. Is that right? Let's investigate by making this image bigger here. Okay, yeah, so they do kind of pop out a bit, but that doesn't, I am going to look at this image here, kind of guess here, so like that, and then I go like this. I put it like that. How does that work? Okay, that's how it goes. All right, so I'll make this smaller here. I showed that in the corner. I need to do this because this is the front of the dragon. This is the dragon face here, so then it goes like that. And I, for some reason, was thinking this was the front, which is obviously wrong. So that's what they wanted me to do, like that. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so I did get an eye done. Great. And the other eye we'll do there. Okay. Now we turn it over. Put this piece here. All right. So a couple things to talk about here. Let's do some quick hits, and then we'll get into the Xbox thing, and then maybe the Discotheque Media stuff for that. Local Thunk, the creator of Balatro, made a statement here that that seemingly because of the many Game of the Year nominations, like stuff from the Game Awards, Balatro had a wild spike in game sales at the end of the year, and has now sold 5 million copies. That's a lot of copies of Balatro. That is excellent news. That's very fucking cool. You love to hear it. Like an indie game like that could just sweep and sell that many copies is wild. So congratulations to Balatro. It did win Best Indie, Best Mobile, and Best Debut Indie at the Game Awards. Also, should say, taking the victory lap of, hey, Lysandus, while taking the victory lap of selling 5 million copies of Balatro, we did have a local thunk also say, hey, thanks everybody for playing and buying the game and playing the game. Also, make sure that you're playing other indie games. Try to make it a habit. There's some amazing stuff out there. And that's lovely. We love to hear that. We love to see that. Just being like, hey, please support the indie industry. Don't make this the only indie game you bought this year as a break from the other kinds of games you play. Like, please continue to support. And I think that's a lovely sentiment. Let's see. So that was nice. That's a little update to them selling 3.5 million. Let's see. Other news. In cancellation news, felt the need to talk about this very briefly. That the developers, let's see, Maddie Thornson said the team that made Celeste and also Towerfall, their next game, Earthblade, is now canceled. There's a long post about it. It was announced back in 2021, and in 2022, there was a brief trailer in the Game Awards. This has been an anticipated title. You know, people were psyched about it. Towerfall has its fans and certainly continued to sell, whereas Celeste felt like a moment. And yeah, unfortunately, looks like there were some creative differences. There were some difficulties in scope. Perhaps they flew too close to the sun on this one, but eventually decided to cancel it. And people are moving on and working on other things. I know that Lena Raine talked briefly about being bummed. Of course, Lena Raine, who made music for Celeste and was working on Earthblade, has said that because some of the music was like diegetic, it doesn't necessarily make sense for it to be released, but she's going to work on something to do something with that music, apparently, which is excellent because it'll be like, you know, a lost album in a way, even though she'll be the one releasing it. Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year and gotten delayed, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. Apparently, some of this is IP rights related to Celeste and was just kind of a breaking point. And basically, because you have to, they were like, yeah, all right, well, we're just going to break this team up. That's going to end up make us cancel this game. Also, please do not blame him for this. Do not harass people. Like, it just fucking happens sometimes and it sucks, but like, please be cool. And also check out Neverway, which is the game that Pedro Medeiros, who was the pixel artist for the game, is doing. Yes, he even recommended their game, indeed, Lord Crash. So there's also a little bit thing here that so there wasn't discourse about this. I mean, there was discourse in the old, like, well, who should I be mad at thing, because that's what people need. They need to know who do I blame for this not working out, because people put a lot of investment in their energy about a thing. Of course. Is that misplaced? Yes. Should that be pulled back? Of fucking course it should. But that is a reality, unfortunately. So in the process of that, kind of like figuring out, like, okay, well, where would we go from there? They kind of talked about how it was a lot of pressure that they applied to themselves to succeed, to go bigger and better than Celeste, to like outshine the previous thing they had worked on. Because Celeste was beloved, and you want to just do better. To which some people have kind of said, just in their own, hey, I'm not trying to speak for a community, I'm just speaking for myself. I like, there's something to be said for a game that's another one of those. Like, not saying you have to make Celeste 2, but if you're making a game that's as good as Celeste or at the level of Celeste, that's still fucking really good, and people will be psyched about that, like, there is something to be said for that, like, or do something like completely left field, or do smaller. And they have said that they're now going to be focusing on smaller projects, and I think like that's totally understandable. Like, look, are there going to be people who are like, oh wow, if they had gone a different way, would there be people who are like, oh, I loved Celeste, and then they put out this like weird card game thing that like was like a 2-hour experience, like, and some people would be bummed about that. But I think like, I don't know, that sounds like it could be cool. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay to just make something just to make it, and then see later if it is a fucking nightmare. Okay, so I did this. That's done. And then, so it should go like this. But then, where did I go wrong here? Because that's not how... I did something wrong in this assembly. We're gonna disassemble. We're gonna go back. We're just gonna completely redo this because I fundamentally did something wrong in this part of the build, and I don't know how I did that. So we're just going to wipe the slate clean on this one and go back to basics on it. All right, so I think I literally fucked this up from the jump. We're gonna go like this. Then we're gonna go here. Yes, I think I just fundamentally did myself dirty on this one. Did it wrong. Go there. Then we do here, and then here. Then we can build off like this. In the corner. The other part here. All right, now I think I know. Hello and welcome. Now I think I know what I did wrong on this wing assembly here. Okay, I am now feeling better about this because I think I did this right. So now if I go like this, it should look like this. Hell yeah, great. Okay, that is connected, but that goes down here because I'm doing it in the wrong spot. But still, there we go. Okay. All right. Because this is not a wing. This is part of the leg. And then we got to do the same thing on the other side. And this time we're going to do it right the first time, so I don't have to fuck this thing up. I don't have to disassemble again, hopefully. Hopefully I'm just going to nail it this time. All right. Those are all the 12 pieces, I believe. There are going to be new cards in Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is a game that I check in on the daily. I do not play their version of the card game. I literally just open packs and look at packs and try to get the cards I don't have, and look at the beautiful cards with the fun animation and the good time of the pack opening. I just like it. I cannot ever allow myself to become a card game collector. I just cannot do it. But I still think that sometimes card art is goddamn gorgeous. Not sometimes, often. So I'm just looking at it when I can look at it and appreciating it. So I have not spent a dime on TCG Pocket, but I still think it looks great. Looks like I got some stuff coming up on the 30th of January. Getting some more card packs, which is good. Because I've gotten all of the ones for the Mew card. Or not the Mew card, but yeah. Yeah, Mewtwo pack. I got all of those out. So, yeah, that's good. Let's talk about the developer direct that happened. This is a direct dive into a deep dive into 4 games. If you were not interested in these games, I totally understand. I thought this was pretty neat. We'll talk about it here on the stream. Excited for yes, the legendaries, the Dalga and Popka. But yeah, I also don't play against people. Yeah, I just haven't at all, because that's not really what I'm there for. I'm there to open card packs, and I am happy to open card packs when card packs are available. But I haven't put any money in, and I haven't played against anybody. I think South of Midnight looks friggin' great, says Lysandus. Yeah, I would agree. Looking at these games, so the games that we looked at here are Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Claire Obscur, Expedition 33, which a lot of people are just calling Expedition 33, which I think is totally reasonable and fine to just call it that, because also Expedition 33 is a good name for a video game, whereas Claire Obscur is, in my mind, not necessarily the best. That sounds like a visual novel. And then, of course, Ninja Gaiden 4, that's right, Team Ninja and Platinum are teaming up to do Ninja Gaiden 4. That's the big release, or sorry, that's the big reveal, I should say, is that those two powerhouse studios are working together on a Ninja Gaiden game. Have I ever been good at Ninja Gaiden? Fucking no. And I've been so bad at Ninja Gaiden games that my favorite Ninja Gaiden game is the one for the DS, because it's way easier. But it was still fucking cool. The DS game is still cool as hell, but was approachable for me, a person who is bad at it, bad at those kinds of games. So this is not something that I would necessarily be looking for myself, but it did look fucking cool. All this stuff looked cool. I should also say, as someone that liked the first new Doom, but not the second new Doom, I'm thinking I might be kind of into Dark Ages. I think I like the DS game more than the others. Yeah. This is the first mainline Ninja Gaiden game since 2012. There have been other ones, of course, but this is like, I'm talking mainline. It has been a while. Team Ninja and Platinum Games are doing it. It'll be out PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series, and it'll be on Game Pass. So that's all good things to know. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is a re-release of Ninja Gaiden 2, and that's available today. Game is remade in Unreal Engine 5 and is on Game Pass. And that game came out in 2008. If you needed to feel a little older, Ninja Gaiden 2 came out in 2008. South of Midnight looks fucking pretty goddamn spooky. Compulsion Games did a good amount of stuff about this one. This kind of like weird deep south mystical nightmarish thing seemed pretty cool. And there was a lot of big nightmares. Giant crocodile that was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty fucking rad. Okay. I don't know. It looked pretty damn good to me anyway. I don't know. Let's get some legs on this dragon. Baby dragon. Yeah. Hell yeah. And then Expedition 33, like I'll say, was the one I probably was like the least interested in of the 4, but that's not saying, like, that's not a knock on it, because I'm doing 2 of these at once. No, I'm just doing 1 at a time. Okay. It's not me knocking on it, because there were only 4 games. So like one of them has to be one that I am the least interested in. And that happens to be Probably Expedition 33. Just because Dirty says 5 games. Yes, I guess if you count Ninja Gaiden 2, that is 5 games. So I guess you're right. I guess you're right, Dirty. There were 5 games. Of the 4 new games that were that were shown, the 4 games that are not remakes. We did talk about that on stream as well. We did mention Ninja Gaiden 2 Black already on the stream. But yes, you're right. That is the 5th game. Of the 4 new games, the one I am least interested in is Expedition 33, probably. Just because I'm not big on turn-based role-playing games anymore. I played them when the cutscenes looked like anime, and it was hard to get anime. That's my time with turn-based RPGs and Japanese-style RPGs in general, was when you got it because the art on the box of your PS1 game looked like a goddamn anime, and you were like, I'm going to buy another Tales game. Oh, is there a Tales game for the Dreamcast? I'm going to get that. Is this the kind of game I enjoy at all? Not really. But I got them because I wanted to play them. Oh, I should re-white balance now that I'm back with the green a little bit here. I should probably just do that. I should be doing that anyway, and I just don't do it as much. Is updating, is like constantly redoing the white balance. Although I will be in another room in February, so maybe I don't need to do it now, but I probably will. I probably will for Saturday. I'll have the time for Saturday. I'll have the time to do it, so I should. All right, I think we're going to get our first wing in here on our little friend. I'm going to put it like that so you can see how cute it is. So yeah, this is from Sandfall Interactive. It is a fantasy world that is very French, hence the name. And there's some customization because it's an RPG that's looking pretty cool. And I am sure that I will, hear more about it. But yeah, it didn't really do a lot for me. That's coming out in April, so that's soon. And then finally, it's Doom: The Dark Ages. This is a prequel to Doom from 2016, so following that storyline. And it is apparently, there are some mechanics, but it is less like, okay, so I'm just going to literally kind of say what they were saying. Basically, they're going the opposite direction of where Eternal went from Doom. Like, the idea is, instead of going like, well, you can't really get more acrobatic, but like Doom to Doom Eternal went from running around and shooting to like parkouring and jumping around and shooting. And Doom: The Dark Ages is more about like planting yourself and shooting. So that actually like legitimately sounds great as a fairly big hater of Doom Eternal. I felt like playing Doom Eternal that I was constantly jumping around and never finding what I needed and never feeling good about any of the weapons I was using and constantly feeling like I was just getting trapped in levels and not having any fun playing it. I know there are plenty of folks out there that really loved Doom Eternal. It was the Doom they wanted because 2016 Doom wasn't quite what they, was like good, but not exactly what they wanted. And this one, was harder and therefore more challenging and therefore more rewarding. But for me, it was just not as fun. I'll say this. I finished Doom. I didn't, and it made my top 10 list. Doom Eternal did not make my list. And also, I did not finish it. So I would like to do this Doom prequel, and hopefully Dark Ages is fucking fun, and I have a good time with it. That'd be great. I hadn't realized how much Eternal poisoned the well for me, because I was watching all that and going, yeah, I don't know if I can trust them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Okay, Lysander also like Doom more than Eternal. And again, I need to make that clear. There are people that liked Eternal a lot because it was very challenging and spoke to them, and that was what they were looking for. They were looking for the challenge and to be the jump and gun as opposed to the run and gun. The jump and gun was what they were looking for, and they got what they were looking for in Eternal. But for me, it was just like punishing. It felt like there was only one way to play the game, and if you weren't doing it exactly the way it was intended, then you were never going to progress. And I was like, that's not what I want. I want to have options, and even if the option I'm picking is not ideal, if I can fucking do it, like give me the chance to do that way. But as I said, Doom Dark Ages looks pretty cool. Also, some sort of dragon mech, and I was like, okay, yes, please. And also another mech, just a big punching mech, a big robot puncher, and then some sort of cybernetic dragon. And I was like, yeah, all right, these are things that you should put in Doom the Dark Ages. These are exactly what I would like to see there. That's coming out in May the 15th. And if you loved Doom Eternal, I don't know, crank up the difficulty and play more Doom Eternal. That is not me trying to be an asshole. I just think that maybe that game still exists and you can still have fun with it. But yeah, I'm sure there are some people who are disappointed because they're Eternal lovers and they're not getting their Eternal 2, which they wouldn't have gotten. But you know what I mean. They're not getting more of that. Okay, let's put this like this. And we put like that. We're basically just doing another wing. We're almost done with our first of 3 builds, I believe here. I think we have a tail to build. Yeah, we got to build a tail, but we're getting there. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. I did want to say that Austin Walker is doing a thing. Realis, I think it's Realis. Realis is live. It is on itch.io. The Ashcan edition. It is described as is a game of diceless storytelling where characters deploy powerful sentences, which are rewritten over the course of their saga. It is $15 or more if you want to do other stuff and get other editions, but the base game is $15. Printable PDFs will be included in each one. The edition is 20 playable classes across 9 spheres, 40 NPC classes, 3 grand factions, 3 example moons, because it's all about moons. And it looks fucking cool. It is it is dope looking. $15 will get you a bunch of PDFs basically. And it looks rad as hell. So about moons and magic. And I am now trying to assemble a crew to check it out this weekend because my collective, I basically just said, Austin Walker made a thing. Who wants to play? And let me tell you, the interest was high in my community. The collective that I belong to, the one-shot groupings. There are people who are aware of Austin Walker, very much so. And there are some people who are way more into Austin for his tabletop stuff than his gaming coverage and all that, or and Giant Bomb stuff and that kind of thing, or Waypoint and all that. But just know him as the guy that does Friends of the Table, and so there was a big interest in this. Yes, I'm very happy for Austin. Look, I'm more than anything. I am thrilled for Austin for shipping a product. Let's just be real. Creative flowing, making a thing, finishing a thing, releasing a thing. All of that is so great. Because it's nice to have a thing, because you may remember that Austin left working on, he left Waypoint to go work for a studio to work on lore for a video game that didn't come out. So Austin put hours and hours and hours of paid work into a thing that has zero results. And this released. Oh yes, there's the new Friends of the Table season using it, which, like, I mean, on the one hand, that's just fucking smart. On the other hand, it is both smart and cool. That is a cool idea and also really fucking smart. I don't listen to a lot of actual plays. Actually, right now, I don't listen to any actual plays. I listen to like one-shots from some people that do that. Just because I found out that that's not, I'd rather play it. You know, like sometimes you watch somebody stream a video game and you go, that's really neat. I'm going to stop watching you stream this and I'm just going to buy this game and I'm going to play it. Or, oh, you're playing the demo. I'm going to download the demo. I'm going to play it. That happens with me with every tabletop experience or actual play. Every actual play that I have ever listened to, with the exception of like the first season of the Adventure Zone, I managed to not be a jerk about it. But everything else, I just go, well, how would I do this? How would I play this? What character would I bring to the table? If I was playing this character, what would I do? And I realized, I just want to do tabletop games. I just want to do tabletop games. I don't want to listen to other people or watch other people do it. I'm okay with one-shots. I've watched some Dimension 20 stuff, generally one-shots, not long campaigns. I have a lot of respect for Dimension 20, don't get me wrong. I have respect for all of the people that put in just time and energy. Watching friends of mine play Vampire the Masquerade is lovely. And I'm Not a Drop to Drink, I recommend checking out from Loading Ready Run, because it is an incredibly rare opportunity to watch comedy people get incredibly invested in something to the point where the facade of, also we're being filmed and it's comedy, fades away. And that happens in Not a Drop to Drink. And also you have an incredibly excellent GM running the game who knows it so well because he's written for Vampire the Masquerade. Jacob Burgess knows what he's doing. Not only is he an excellent storyteller, he also knows Vampire really well. For me, it's kind of reversed because I don't have a group to play with, so I listen and watch a lot. Yeah, totally. So I had a regular D&D crew that has since temporarily disbanded because our GM is getting married and another person changed their jobs and needs to focus on that. And so we kind of took a back seat. But I am part of a collective that just plays games when we want to play games, which is awesome. A lot of Fiasco, a lot of one-shots in D&D. But the idea is that it's all, every session is a quest that was posted in like a guild, like a tavern at the guild. And so you can play the same characters throughout, or you can remember, maybe at the same table with somebody else, you're both playing characters that interacted before, so you can, mention that stuff and build in there. And it's a great way for people who are like, jokes on some of my friends that are part of this collective, because some of them are part of the collective because they're like, well, I don't have time for a full game. I can't do a campaign again. I can't do that. Like, even if it was Pathfinder, like, I don't have time for that. But yet they're in the Discord setting up sessions every week. They do have time for it. But drop in and play whenever I want is a lot easier for people to justify than, well, for the next 3 years, we're playing D&D So I understand it, but also, ha ha ha, joke's on you. You play Fiasco and D&D and Lasers and Feelings and Realis maybe, all the time. So I am excited for it. Congratulations to Austin. You did it, my dude. It's just incredible. I'm so glad that he has a thing done. Let's see. Can I reopen this tab here? Yes, I can reopen this tab. I need to reopen this tab and go back to highlights from a very big Discotheque New Year's. They had a whole stream. If you want to watch the whole thing, Discotheque, the people still make DVDs and Blu-rays of the anime that you may remember, or live action that you may remember, or you didn't remember it and you're like, what the fuck, what are you making, what's going on here? Some of it is movies, some of it is just releases. We've got Cyber 09 versus Devilman, which includes the Netflix dub and also the original Japanese, which is 3 episodes. That's coming out. Angel Heart, which I have a soft spot. All 50 episodes in HD, which is wild. I did not know that this is 2005. This was a sequel to City Hunter, and it was much darker than City Hunter. There wasn't a lot of laughs in that one. It's really good. I'm very excited about that. That feels like something that I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on that because that sounds pretty good. Really old. What years are these? This is the 80s. Oh yeah. Osamu Matsukun. 86 episodes on SDBD. So that happens a lot with these where they're like, we can't call this HD. Like, we just don't have any right to do that. We don't have any ability to do that. So we're just going to call it like, hey, here's a Blu-ray of all of the episodes cleaned up as best we can. But like, we wouldn't call this a remaster. And I think that's totally fair of them to just be like, yeah, it's not, this ain't a remaster. I think that's reasonable. Here's a big one. This is another SDBD. You can find this out there on streaming services. You can find it other places. 42 episodes of Flame of Recca, including the dub, subbed and dubbed, promo clips. This is the Viz Ocean Studios dub. Japanese with your subtitles. I am hoping that there is more to the Flame of Recca. It would make me really happy if that was true, if they were doing some other stuff with it, because Flame of Recca didn't look great when it came out. Really, it just doesn't look particularly excellent. So it was 1997, and it was a shonen that they were really cranking out the episodes of. So I'm not surprised that it doesn't look particularly great, but I would like it if it looked better than it is, than it did then. But apparently that's not possible, and that's a shame. We are done with the dragon. This took half a stream, so we will disassemble this after the pause for the cause. I'm going to take a photo of this dragon. I'll show you how the dragon looks. Here's the dragon. It's got a big mouth. It's got, we can slowly go really wide with the mouth. Lots of posability here with the wings and the tail. But if you crank the tail too much, it might be top heavy, but that seems fine. And the legs. Our red dragon here, our baby dragon, our black eyes red dragon is looking pretty good. Got some extra pieces that, that's just nice to have. But I'm going to take a photo of this and then we'll disassemble it. And let me get my camera on my phone here going. Camera app up. Let's see. Other things. The live action Lupin the Third movie, which I believe has been out. The Japanese have had a Japanese Blu-ray has been out for a long time. Subs included just non-English and full English options with multi-language and full English for Japanese. Audio is the audio is the multi-language. So apparently the Lupin the Third live action movie has like, it's a multi-language film, but if you want to listen to just the Japanese dub or watch the Japanese dub, you can do that. Okay, so I'm not going to go too deep into a lot of this stuff, but it's very funny that the bonus features are trailers, TV commercials, liner notes, art gallery, and anti-piracy warning. Apparently there is like a custom anti-piracy warning for this because it's a movie about a thief, so they play with the anti-piracy message, and they apparently that is a neat thing that they included on the Blu-ray. And that's the kind of like fun little touch. Like, not only is it fun to be like, well, we have to do an anti-piracy message, but this is a fucking Lupin movie. But also the fact that Discotheque is like that, we need to get that. We need to have that and include that in our Blu-ray. Like that's why they're the best in the biz. Stuff like that. All right, let me let's see, one quick thing. Just gotta check something real quick here. Should also mention, most of Discotheque stuff is available on Crunchyroll store because they had a production deals with Right Stuff, who now are owned by Sony, who own Crunchyroll and all that. I'll probably actually talk more about some of these on Saturday because I don't know what I'm going to talk about on Saturday, so we'll talk about like a bunch of these other things because there is a block of stuff here that's not anime that is done by Japanese studios but was made for an American audience, and some live action stuff as well. Let's see. So there'll be a bunch of things to talk about there. I should say, before we take a pause for the cause, which we will do, we'll take a pause for the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel. Then I'm going to disassemble this, and then I'm going to start working on the fish. I think I'm going to do the fish next. Before I get into that, hey, if you have a Crunchyroll account, change your password. I don't know why they didn't just do it. Crunchyroll has not has not done a force password reset. They should. They have been compromised. Crunchyroll, there is a list of premium accounts and passwords out there available for sale, and then somebody who bought it has made it available for free. So if you have a password there and it is unique, great. You just got to change it, and then keep an eye on your bank info. And then also, if you were using a password used for other things, change that, and then also make sure that password you're using for other things also gets changed on other places. This has been your PSA. I am not talking about an anime in the second hour that is available on Crunchyroll, but I did want to just say that because it is important to know. If you got a Crunchyroll account, change that password. Again, they should just do a forced password reset for everybody, but they haven't. They might still, but they haven't right now. I cannot independently verify that, this is legit, but it was legit enough to send out warning signs in the InfoSec community, or warnings, from the InfoSec. So they are telling people, hey, this is something to be worried about. So now I'm telling you. I already did some disassembly. We'll do more disassembly after. I just started doing it out of habit. Hi, I'm Pat Baer, and this is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to help me out financially, you're more than welcome to, and I will give you every opportunity to do so as best I can. Various ways to do it. But again, want to stress, optional. Don't have to do any of these things. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote, if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, into chat. Let the people know that you've got cool emotes made by my friend Zandra. And you've also don't have to see ads. If an ad break had to happen, you don't see them. If pre-roll ads, they don't affect you. You can roll in anytime during the stream. You're not going to see a pre-roll ad before my stream. No worries, no problems. So if you want to become a subscriber, that's the easiest thing there. You can do Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that token for anybody. And if you want to use it for me, that'd be great. Let me drink a little water. Hold on, just 1 second. Feeling parched. There we go. You could also gift a sub like Bayfu did and Aristofan did. If you want to be a gift subber, you could do that. You could get you join the gift sub leaderboard. You could also be like Bayfu and throw some cheer my way if you want to do that. Optional. You don't have to do any of that stuff. If you want to, you can. There are other ways to support me financially. Amazon is just the Amazon, Twitch. I mean, Twitch is just the easiest because you're already here. But I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. And over on Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Take a look, see what's going on over there. You get a bunch of stuff at the $1 and then more and more and more as you go up in price. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube, you can, of course, subscribe for free, and I would love for you to do that. See some videos that I made over there. You can also become a member, and for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. I put out a weekly Wednesday video called Kuma Baer, which is my under a minute anime recommendation series. So the video that went out yesterday, some people saw it on Tuesday. You could be one of them people. Let's see. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you wanted to help me out on just a one-time, like a tip jar kind of thing, well, I do have a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you could send a donation that way. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and out of that fund, I buy model kits, which is pretty neat, and Lego sets. And I've got a backlog. I have a kit that cost me $100, and it's sitting there waiting for me to build it, and I will build it soon, but right now can't because I have other things to build, because I'm working on a Lego set that was purchased off my Amazon wish list, so it jumped the queue. I made a dedicated video about the thing, and now it's the thing I'm working on. That was this Lego set, previous Lego set, and also the jigsaw puzzle were all purchased by Aristofan. If you would like to buy something for me to build and have it jump the queue and be the next thing I work on, well, you can go to my Amazon wish list. Over on my Amazon wish list, I've got model kits and Lego sets. I got inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. Stuff that's on sale, stuff that has free shipping or prime shipping, all kinds of different things and things. I would love to, that dropped in price. I'll have to drop that down. Nice, nice, nice. The Gundam Build Metaverse entry grade is the Build Strike Exceed Galaxy. That's on sale. That's down to $14. That's a good deal. But I got all kinds of things in there that I would be happy to build. Some Lego knockoffs, one nanoblock knockoff that I bet is just going to be annoying to build. All kinds of different things and things. Some gear, because it's always nice to have gear options. You see something on there you'd like to see me put together, you could always buy it and for me, and it'll come in the mail. You could do anonymously or have a note attached. And again, jump the queue and be the next thing that I work on. I have a Throne wish list, which I would love for you to check out. Throne is an alternative to Amazon. They really care about the privacy of the people that are putting stuff up there. They are great, and they are also not opposed to working with people who work in the adult industry, and that's lovely. It's lovely for those folks to have that support. So I always want to give a shout out to Throne because they're doing it up. USA Gundam Store is the most convoluted way to support me. If you were like Pat, I would like to financially support you, but I only want to do it if it's a fucking nightmare for me and many, many steps. Okay, you go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card there. They send you a gift card code in your email. Then you send it to me via Whisper here on Twitch. Oh, we just got a raid by Bad Gumpla. Welcome, Raiders. USA Gundam Store, you get a gift card, then send me a Whisper. It is the most convoluted way and annoying way to support me financially, but people have done it. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Pat Baer. I am plugging some stuff that I've worked on recently, and then we're going to work on some Lego and talk about some anime. But I hope you're all doing well. I don't know what Jason was working on, if Jason was doing gaming or if Jason was doing leatherworking or model kits, whatever it was. Let's make sure that folks that don't know are going to go ahead. Let's do the old shout out here. We're going to shout out Bad Gunpla, because Jason is awesome. Please go and give some love. Jason took a long break from streaming, and you may remember the name Bad Gunpla if you are aware of the plastic model Weekender, which I have participated in most times. Kingdom Death Minis, good times. Also, hi, I need to make dinner. Nice to see you, friend. Yes, nice to see you. Make dinner. This is an important thing, friends. You acknowledge that you've been raided. You engage a little bit. You engage with the people that came in on the raid. You hope they had a good time. But you also left the person that's doing the raid go do other stuff. Because y'all know me, I only stream 2 hours at a time. So I'm okay to chat for a little bit. Some people stream like 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And they don't take breaks. And so they just need to like stand up and like go to the bathroom or get food or start uploading their local archive immediately and do all their social media wrap-up stuff because they are trying to continue to do all the stuff that isn't the part of it where you get to stream, all the other stuff that you have to do, because nobody who is rating, I'll say this, nobody who is rating me has anyone helping them other than maybe moderators, right? And anyone I'm rating doesn't have a team. They don't have anybody that does the uploads for them. Maybe I'll raid somebody big, but generally I don't raid anyone that has a squad that isn't moderators who like that person and are doing it for free. Anyway, I got a couple video links I want to share with you, and I will stop ranting, and then we'll get back into Lego. We'll do some Lego disassembly and some anime talk. I have a new episode that I put up this week of Pat Baer's Anime Club that I would like you to check out. Hey, there's a lot of isekai this season. There are 12 isekai out, and I talk about all of them in this video that I made, where I tell you if I'm watching them, if I might watch them, or if I'm not watching them. And the yes is if it interests me. The maybe is if it interests me, maybe. And then the no is it's not available, and I can't, because there's one show I just can't, because there's not a licensed version. And then, like, I tried, I watched one episode, and no fucking thank you. Or I hear this one's fucking creepy, and I don't want to. Or in the case of one show that I am not watching this season, it starts out pretty good, but from the manga, I know that it just infuriates me, and I don't want to watch it anymore. So there you go. That's the short version. But watch the video if you want to know what's going on in isekai. And then also, Kuma Baer. I understand Lysandus. Some people are up for it. It's not like psychologically creepy. It's just like, hey, why is this a thing? Creepy. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where I talk about an anime in under a minute, because that's how long I have to do on shorts, because they're YouTube shorts. This week I talked about on Kuma Baer. I've been going through my favorite shows from the fall 2024 season. And so this week I talked about Ranma 1/2, the 2024 Ranma 1/2 remake, which is phenomenal. It's way more true to the manga while also infusing modern sensibilities. Even though it is progressive and transgressive for its time, Ranma 1/2, also the original anime, is also, let's just say, fucking racist to Chinese people. And hey, I can report that shampoo is not a fucking problem. We only have to talk about shampoo and this incarnation of shampoo to say, hell fucking yeah, this version of shampoo. We didn't see a lot of her. She comes in late in the season. But I was like, well, all right, we're not doing a lot of fan service shots. There's like okay, oh, this is pretty good. Okay, ooh, they didn't do that filler. Okay, that's great. How are they going to handle shampoo? They did. So I can fully recommend the first season of Ranma 1/2 available on Netflix, dubbed and subbed. But I talk about it in the video if you want to hear me say it in under a minute in vertical video format. How did that one do, actually? You know what? How did that one do? I didn't look today. Usually I get a few views the first day, and then Thursday I suddenly get a ton of views on these, and I don't know why that happens. Why I don't get immediate views. How do I do on this short? Not a lot. Okay. Daima did really well out of nowhere, but not more views than Dan to Dan. I have no idea why Dan to Dan. Nobody saw that. It did not get served to people on YouTube. I have no idea how that works still. I do not know how to game YouTube Shorts other than the actual gaming, which I refuse to do. Hey, peek behind the curtain here. Here's the thing I will say. If you want to get people to watch your shorts and you don't want to just upload content that you don't own, because that's a great way to get people, is to do scenes from movies. That's a great way to get people to watch that. Or you can just take clips of interviews that people have done, or like, hey, here's behind the scenes, conversations about Deadpool and Wolverine, and just clip that and put that up there, even though you don't own any of that. That's great. The actual thing, if you want to make original content for YouTube and have people watch it, you have to shoot the video that you want to make, and in the editing process, clip off the first 15, 20 seconds of the video and put it at the end of the video so that the YouTube short starts in the video, like 15, 20 seconds into your video, so that people have to watch the whole thing to get the beginning. And that actually works. People will watch it. And then most of the time, they will continue watching it through the entire second viewing, because they're like, oh, wait, now this has context, so I'll watch it again. So you basically get double views for every view. Now, some people will see that and immediately scroll by, but most people will watch your whole video for the context they're missing and then watch it again with that new context. So you get the double view. It sucks. I don't do it because I just think it's weird to do, and eventually YouTube is going to catch on and they won't serve it to people. But mostly it's just like, no, I don't want to trick people into watching my videos. I want people to subscribe to my channel because they like Kuma Baer and they want to watch more episodes of it. That's what I want. I know that's not whatever. That's because legitimately everything I make is in the service of this, what we're doing right now. All the shit that I put out there on the internet is generally in the service of this, with the exception of me talking about wrestling, which is just me ranting into the void, because I only have done 2 episodes of my wrestling series, or wrestling club, Pepper's Wrestling Club. But even then, that's in the service of people finding my medium takes, my medium heat takes on wrestling, and then maybe checking out the other stuff I do. Because occasionally my wrestling takes go minorly viral. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some anime that I've been watching, and I am going to drink some water because I need to do that, and I am going to dramatically transition to my overhead camera so that I can talk about some anime, and we'll do all of that right now. All right, now that I am not just totally involved in a puzzle and I can get into like my anime reviews, we got 2 anime episodes to talk about on the stream. We finished the dragon. I am now disassembling the dragon so that we can build a fish with the same parts. So you have to forgive me that Sorairo Utility episode 3. I watched a while ago because I was going to talk about this on Monday. So I watched this on Sunday, I want to say. Yeah, I watched this on Sunday. So it's been a little while, and I don't remember everything about this episode. So please forgive me as I really use my notes. But basically, if you haven't watched any of this, it's on HIDIVE. There was an OVA that's out there, and now the anime is actually out. This is a story about a young girl, high school girl, I should say, who just needs a thing. She needs something. She just wants to she doesn't want to feel like a background character in her own life. She's searching for something, and she thought maybe it would be something at school. That didn't work out. So now she's she kind of stumbled into golf and is just kind of figuring out what that is. So we have Haruka is clearly a former golf pro. She is just a girl playing golf, hanging out at the golf course. And she's really psyched about the idea of another girl around her age also getting excited about golf. Just anyone getting excited about golf. So Minami, who is our main character in there, is just kind of learning, kind of figuring things out, seeing if this is something that she would want to spend some time with. And I think we're going to get more details. We also know that there's a girl who makes YouTube videos that we're going to find out. We thought we were going to find out more about her in the second episode, and then we didn't find out anything about her. So then it seems like we're going to find out about her in this episode, our trio, because we know from the opening. So our girl gets a golf clubs, and she's like, these seem expensive. And she's like, no, it's okay. And then Minami's like, look at these golf clubs that my new friend gave me to play, her old golf clubs. And her friend, the person that encouraged her to do stuff, but it was golf? What are you talking about? She's just like, those are incredibly expensive. And she Googles them, and they're they're $20,000 golf clubs. Obviously that would be new, but still, these are expensive golf clubs. And that causes Minami to just freak the fuck out about how expensive these goddamn golf clubs are. Oh no, what do I even do with expensive golf clubs like this? It's very fun. And she's also just also, how expensive is this hobby? Wait, golfing is expensive, right? Is this even a thing I can afford to do? And I'll say this right now. Minami has mostly just been psyched about finding something to be into. So this is reasonable thing. This, her being that these are incredibly expensive. And also, what are you talking about? What's going on here? Do I even belong doing this? Can I even afford to do this? All of these things are reasonable, and it makes me like her very much. I like this character very much because she just seems down to earth in a way that I was like, oh, okay, nice to see. Basically, Haruka is well, would you want to work for me? And then you could earn money to then play golf, and then we get to see each other. And that's when we found out that Haruka works at the golf course. She works at the driving range, which we didn't know. And that makes sense because she's there all the time because she also works there. It's oh, all right. And now we're introducing our third character, Ayaka, who is a college student. She is an Instagram streamer. She does Instagram lives, and she is friends with Haruka. And she has heard about this new girl, Minami, and she's interested in knowing what's going on there. Am I bummed that they did not invent their own social media with a weird name that is a play on something? A little bit, but whatever, it's fine. She's she's asked a lot of questions. She's really interested in knowing everything, and there's a lot going on, but she's fun. She seems fine, I guess. But basically she's like, we're helping Minami figuring out her life and what she's interested in doing, figure out her thing. And so they have a little game of golf. It is just like a putt game, a little contest here. If Minami wins, that Ayaka is going to give her a job offer, like an offer for work. And then if Ayaka wins, Minami owes her a favor. We do get to see Minami. Hey, in episode 3 of this anime, our main character gets invoked in because it's not putting. I misspoke. She gets invoked in a yellow light all around her body, as if she's powering up her ki. What I am saying is she goes Super Saiyan, and it's very silly. And I was not ready for the Super Saiyan bit. I was not prepared for her to go Super Saiyan. And it caught me off guard in the best way possible. It was very cute and silly. So also this is streamed. The whole time, I should say that. And also, Ayaka is not a pro at golf. I don't know why. It was one of those things like you just kind of go with the flow and assume that she's going to be a good golfer. She is not a good golfer, so that's fun. And so the competition's going pretty good. And then, yeah, she goes Super Saiyan, but she goes too hard. But Haruka's like impressed with what she does, even though she overshoots, like she does too much power, but her technique is impressive. So maybe she's kind of a natural. But yeah, she did see the potential in her. So now she's just like, oh, I'm right about this. So Ayaka wins, and that means that Minami and also Haruka also has to get in there. And apparently the favor is to be in a photo shoot that is about girls wearing golf gear. So it is work. But we find out that Haruka, our obvious golf pro, is not used to and uncomfortable with like wearing makeup and being girly, which makes sense. So she's having a lot of problems kind of dealing with it. But then Minami is like kind of into it. Until she realizes that, like, oh, yeah, I'm having fun. This is kind of fun. Hey, wait, the other girls I'm with are older than me and are like knockout gorgeous, and I'm feeling very self-conscious, which is just, it's a shame, but like completely understandable. But again, a shame for her that she's feeling that way. But everybody kind of like cheers each other up and has fun with it. Ayaka kind of shares like, hey, I've been also, searching for the thing that I am good at, or my thing. So we have that in common, which is nice. Let's see. Also, it was a favor, but it was a job. So Minami gets paid, and she does really well. But also, the episode ends with something I thought about. You may remember that the bet was that, if Ayaka won, then they would have to do a favor. But if Minami won, then Ayaka would make a well-paying job offer to her. The well-paying job offer was the photo shoot, of course. So either way, she won, and it was all part of her master plan. And I'm instantly loving this character even more. That's some good shittery from Ayaka. Good work. And then the preview of the episode, or the end of the episode, looks like the girls are going to be in some sort of golf contest with a bunch of like big dudes, like macho men. So we'll see what happens there. This show has big queer baiting energy. Like, this is going to be the, like, show that isn't Yuri. Is this Yuri? No. Show of the season. But also, it's a girls doing things show. And you know what? We don't fucking get a lot of those. I was so disappointed with the third season of Laid Back Camp because the animation style really bummed me out. So I'm excited for this. Also, I am not the biggest fan of magical girl anime, so that's where a lot of girls doing things kind of has been. It's just more of the magical girl stuff, which has its fans obviously, and I understand that and I support y'all, and I'm glad you got some good shit to watch. But me personally, your friend Pat, I just kind of want some girls doing things shows, and we're not really getting those these days. So I'm hoping that, I'm hoping this is still good after, 3 episodes in. I'm still liking it a lot. Now I want to talk to you about episode 2 of Sakamoto Days. Taro Sakamoto, or Sakamoto Taro, is a portly guy who works at a convenience store with his wife, and he and his wife and their child live above the convenience store. He used to be an assassin. In episode 1, we find out some backstory stuff. Basically, he met his wife, Oi, and at some point retired from being an assassin and then faked his death so that he is out of the game. In the first episode, somebody that he used to work with wants him back or dead, and that leads to a big shootout. Where we see that Taro or Sakamoto can still fucking go. The guy that was supposed to take him out, Shin, ends up wanting to protect him and also does not think that anyone could beat him, which is true. Shin, we also learned, has psychic abilities, which is not really explained at all, but is a thing in this show. And then by the end of the episode, Shin has quit the game and is working for Taro, or recovering with Taro and hanging out. We find out in this episode that nobody in the previous episode died. At least anyone that Taro fought, or Sakamoto fought. Nobody that he fought died because he has a promise with his wife that if he kills anyone, she's going to divorce him. That is basically... and later this episode, we find out a little bit more details about that via flashback. But basically, the family rule we need to know is he can't kill anybody. And if he kills anybody, that's it for the marriage. Which I think, on the one hand, if you were marrying a former assassin, that was his line of work. I understand you don't want that anymore, especially raising a family and retirement and all that. But also, at a certain point, like happened in the first episode, people are going to come and try to kill this dude sometimes. Sometimes people are going to try to kill this guy. Maybe you got to give him a little bit of leeway. Don't actively kill people, but don't, defend yourself, that kind of thing. What am I saying? Who knows? Anyway, Taro basically is just hey, don't ask questions about what's going on here in the rules, which we'll learn more about later. They go off to buy pork buns. They go to Chinatown to get some pork buns. And they run into a girl named Lou. And by run into, I mean that she jumps out of a building and falls and lands on Sakamoto. And ruins the pork buns that they had just purchased. So they're like, what's going on with this? Lou is she is fighting a bunch of gang members. And then more gang members show up. And so Taro and Shin leap into action to help out this girl. Her name is, again, Lou Yaotang. So they help out Lou. And in the process, more gang members show up, so they run. And apparently, they are all working for a evil CEO. I could use a pork bun right about now, says the scientist. Yes. Hey, I'll say this, friends. The pork buns in Sakamoto days look very good. They look very good, those pork buns. Anyway, the evil CEO of Dawn Incorporated, and I know it's Dawn, D-A-N Don, not D-A-N Dan. But it did, the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, he's the CEO of Dan? No, he's not the CEO of Dan Incorporated. He's the CEO of Don. It's still a silly name. Anyway, apparently, Lou is a member of a clan, a big, large family, and all of the family, except for Lou, have been killed by on the orders of the CEO. We get to see a gang member who failed to capture Lou or kill Lou, like get sent off to go fix the problem, but that's really just like an elaborate prank because that person gets murdered by these two the He brothers, Son and Bako, and they are clearly assassins as well. They have to find Lou and the key that she has. She's got a key to her family's treasure. And apparently that's the whole reason the CEO has been doing all this evil shit is to get this key and get this treasure. And then, of course, if everyone's dead, then no one can fight for it. So they are, Lou kind of tells everybody, Taro and Shin, what's going on. We saw some of that stuff in there. And then Sakamoto just gets fucking nailed by Bancho, and sends Sakamoto into a building. Son and Bancho are, we find out what's going on. Shin recovers, or Taro recovers, I should say. And this is the first episode we watched our guy Sakamoto be an unbelievable badass. And we got to see him get injured a little bit. And maybe it's because he's just older now and, a little bit heavier. Or, maybe Bako is strong. Bancho, I should say. Or Bako. Maybe Bako is strong. We don't know. But either way, we do see him having a little bit of problems. But then he sends the guy to the floor and separates them with a punch. So separates the two brothers. Son tells Lou, hey, we're the two, me and my brother, we're the ones that killed your parents. So admitting that not only was it, on the orders of the CEO, but they're the ones that committed the crime. And then it's flashback time. We did a flashback. Taro and his wife, I think before they got married, are together. She knows there's blood on his cheek. And she's just like, and Taro's like, yeah, I wanted to get you a gift. So, because it's Christmas, I should say. It's a Christmas. And he's like, yeah, I had to work to get you a gift. Obviously meaning that he's still, at this time anyway, he is still an assassin. And she basically is just like, I don't want to be with you because of if you're going to be a killer. And so she goes and jumps off the building, and he of course saves her. And so she's jumping because she knows that he's going to save her, and she's just being dramatic. But basically, he makes her promise that it's a family rule and that he can no longer kill anyone. And he agrees to that rule in order to be with her. And then that's the end of the flashback. Basically, the reasoning is that, like, hey, also that he should protect people. One of the other family rules is that he should go out of his way to help people that need help, which is one of the reasons why they jumped to Lou's defense. Is because that's one of the rules, and that is to atone for all of his previous crimes. Which this is a manga and an anime about a former assassin who is pretty badass, but is also like a chill dad and business owner. And it's for a shonen. The fact that in episode 2 of a shonen, they're like, and also that cool shit you used to do, it's not that cool. And him being like, yeah, all right, that's fun, different. So yeah, she wants people to save people, and so then Taro and Shin pretty fucking easily defeat the brothers. I will make a comment on here that the animation took a kind of a down step here. I think the moment-to-moment stuff still looks good, but the fights here, the fights in the first episode are wild and kinetic and lively and really good. These are occasionally feel like static images kind of shoved together in some parts. Not all of it, but some parts. So I am a bit disappointed that episode 2 already feels like a step down in quality from episode 1. Hopefully they'll bounce back. Meanwhile, the CEO is really mad. He wants to get into that family vault. He wants the key. He needs that key. Lou, Taro, and Shin show up, and Lou beats the shit out of the CEO, but isn't going to kill him because she wants a happy life, and that's not the right thing to do. She opens up the vault, and they get the family treasure inside of it, and then we cut to them eating the pork buns that got smashed. They're just eating the pork buns because they got smashed, but they're still good. So they're eating the pork buns and talking. And then we find out that Lou has gotten hired to work. She's not going to sell the family heirlooms because she wants to respect her family and keep them, but then she needs work. So she is going to work for Sakamoto, making pork buns for the job, which is a great little business. It's good little thing. And we end the episode with several men meeting together, and they seem to be monitoring Sakamoto in the store. And they're like, someone's placed a 1 billion yen bounty on Sakamoto. And these don't necessarily seem like bad guys. But they're keeping an eye on what's going on. Apparently, someone's got it in for our guy. So we'll see what that's going to be in the future. Again, animation quality took a step down, but in general, I will tell you that I really enjoy the whole fucking vibe of Sakamoto Days. It's just got style, and it is a fun story. And outside of he gained weight, there haven't, just acknowledging that he gained weight, it hasn't been a bunch of people making fat jokes, which I was a little worried about, but that seems to not be the case. Will that still that still could happen in the future as new characters arrive or whatever, or characters that knew him previously show up? Maybe that'll happen, and it'd be a running gag and be annoying to me, your friend Pat. But right now, I'm into it. Now that I've talked to you about the anime that I have been watching, and again, we'll get the next episode of Dragon Ball Daima. We'll talk about that on Saturday, and then at least something else. I'm not sure what else. Maybe Zenshu episode 2. I haven't talked about that yet, so maybe we'll do that for that. But anyway, or episode 3 of Zenshu. I want to know, friends, what are you up to? What are you into? What you do over the weekend? Did you watch any movies? Did you watching any anime? Watching any TV? Playing any video games? Let me know. I always love to hear from you about what you got going on, what you're up to and what you're into. I'm going to say this right now before we get to the end of the stream, because I realized I have not promoted this, and we are a week and a day away. I've talked about it before, but I have not gone into the hard promotion, so I need to do that of what I am doing a week from tomorrow, because I updated the visual image, so I got to get that out here. I need to talk to you about my subathon. While I give you time to talk, to write and chat what you're up to and into, I want to tell you about my subathon. Let me get the image loaded here. There it is. There it goes. Friday, the 31st, a week from tomorrow, from 3:30 p.m. Eastern to ? I don't know when that'll be done. I am going to be talking about, or I'm going to be streaming, and I want you to come hang out with me, is my semi-annual subathon. I do it twice a year. This is the winter subathon. I will be doing at 40 subscribers, which I'm already at. So I'm just kind of cheating a little bit. If it, when I hit 40, I will be doing some quick builds. There is a 2 little small Lego builds that I want to do, and so I'll be doing that very fast. At 50 subscribers, I will do karaoke, and it will be songs I have never sung before, never sung on stream. And in fact, I looked at it. I've never sang these in public. These are just songs I've never done. So I'm very excited about that. At 60 subscribers, I will show you one of my favorite wrestling matches of this past year. It is not exactly my favorite, but it is one of my favorites and is the easiest one for me to show you. So it's one of my favorite matches. And then at 70 subscribers, I will play a mystery game. I will not tell you what that is. I will only tell you that it was a cheap, inexpensive game I got on Steam that is really fucking weird. Every part of it is weird, and it was like a $5 game. It's the mystery game. If I get to 70 subscribers, I'll show you that. As well as me playing some Hearthstone, making a new creative wrestler of myself in WWE 2K24, and then fighting against myself, and then other stuff. Hearthstone, anyway, I will show you some new decks that I am trying out because the mini set just came out, and I've got a Protoss deck that I really like and a Zerg deck that I don't love, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. I don't have a Terran deck yet, but I am trying to figure out a Terran deck. My Protoss deck is so fucking silly. I'm so into it. I realized, did I just do... Okay, yeah. I just skipped a step. Folks, I skipped a step. I got to go in and fix my mistake. So let me do that. And then I'll read what y'all have been writing in chat about what you're up to. But yeah, for me personally, playing Hearthstone, trying out the new deck, trying to make the new decks work. Unfortunately, this mini set does not have any cards that will benefit my other decks. This mini set is very focused on, well, it's focused on two things. One, giving you more to a new mechanic, the Starship mechanic. So they add some new cards that benefit that. And then also all the cards that benefit are building a new deck type around the Zerg or the Protoss or, and kind of playing that, or the Terrans and playing that. So my regular decks that I've been playing haven't had any new cards in there, which is a shame because I want to play with the new cards, but also like the decks that I've built. But that's okay. And then also on Tuesday, while I was streaming, many of you were here on Tuesday. I played a bunch of What the Car, and I went back in to try to beat some of my times and get some gold crowns in places that I had only bronzed. And hey, weirdly enough, turns out I'm better at that game when I'm not streaming it. Weirdly enough. That game is fun. If you have not checked out What the Car, I'd recommend it. Put it on your wish list in case it goes on sale or pick it up. It's just silly and fun. It is by the makers of What the Golf and What the Bat, the VR game that I have not played. I cannot tell you much more about that, but I can tell you as someone that has just played What the Golf and What the Car. What the Car is fucking really impressively weird. It's very strange, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So I recommend it. Lashbrook says, I played through Space Marine 1 for the first time. I have fond memories of Space Marine. And as someone who is into 40K, I thought it was kind of generic brown action game. I bought Space Marine 2 on sale, but unfortunately it keeps crashing on me. I'm sorry to hear that. So here's the thing. Space Marine is generic, but it was cheap. It came out cheap. It was a B-tier generic game. But it had a good flow to it. It was fun to play. It was a good one of those. And like I said, cheap. It had its charms, I think, even if it was like pretty generic, one of those. I'm sorry that Space Marine 2 is not working for you. That's a shame. Space Marine 2 does seem best with friends. That seems like a co-op game that you want to play that co-op. But hopefully you can figure it out. you can find some support for people that have similar issues or a similar setup to you, and get some tech support. My condolences on that one. I'm sorry, it's not working out. Laura Crashton says, I played some Marvel Snap for the first time and I kind of get it, but it's not hooking me. I'll stick to the Steam version to avoid having it readily available readily available at all times. Yes. Apparently the Second Dinner is looking out for a new publisher so that they do not have to deal with this problem in the future, and get out of working with ByteDance. We'll see how that works out, but yes. I like it. It is a game that I have not touched in a while, but I did enjoy Marvel Snap. It did get its hooks into me for a while, but eventually I just went back to Hearthstone because that's the game that I play a lot of and I know really well. Dirty says, made it to chapter 14 in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Figured out today that I have an anime for every day this season and recovering from bad food on Sunday. Dirty, I'm sorry to hear about the bad food. I'm happy to hear you have a lot to watch. I'm only covering 3 anime right now, like 3 shows, so I'm going to try to find some other stuff to talk about. I am watching more than that. I don't know. I think I may be watching 7 or 8 shows, but a couple of them I'm like, Zenshu, I'm like, episode 3 of Zenshu had wrestling in it, but it still wasn't something that I'm like, oh, I'm definitely loving this show. But there are a few that, like, my family's on the brink of ruin, so I might as well learn magic is like a totally fine one of those. It's such a fine one, like a whatever one of those, that I forgot that I've read the manga of it. And the manga, like, because the manga is just like, oh yeah, and then he turns a bunch of fairies into elves, and all these people, like his friends who are part animal decide they want to be summons for him, and then we just never fucking see them again. And it's just like, it just flows so fast. He finds this legendary dragon, and the dragon's just like, oh yeah, well, you're going to defeat me anyway, so I'm going to hang out as a ghost and just like give you pointers. And it's just like, what? It's just, everything goes so easy for this guy, but it's like, it's totally watchable. Dirty says, I feel like I'm watching a bad dub for today's stream as the lip sync feels more off than usual. Huh. Is anyone else noticing that? Has anyone else noticed that? Please let me know. I'm going to look at what you're seeing and see how that looks there. And now I should actually talk more, and then I can listen on delay, and then I can hear what I'm saying. That looks fine to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a refresh would help you out, Dirty. It might be on your end. Here's the thing. It could be me. It could be my upload. It could be that, like, that the bit rate fluctuating is just making it a harder experience for you. But also, it might just be Twitch. So I don't know. But thank you for telling me that things are lawyered. Lasper says, I think there might be a very slight one. Maybe I'm imagining it. I mean, yeah, it's totally possible that there is a delay. And it's probably my webcam. So that is something I can look into. I will say that I did have to refresh my webcam the other day because the Logitech software had a big update. So maybe this Logitech, the Logitune update messed up my webcam. I don't know. So I will before Saturday stream unplug it and plug it back in. But yeah, I hadn't noticed, and then that makes me worried because I did record 2 videos tonight, so now I get to watch those and see if there is a issue there. It might be OBS. It might be Twitch. I hope it is OBS or Twitch. I hope it's Twitch and things get settled. And it's not my webcam. but I don't know. But thank you for letting me know. And if it is Twitch, then I will, instead of doing, which I normally do, instead of doing the, what was that? I just forgot what I was about to say. Instead of doing my normal upload of the VOD, I'll upload a different VOD. It's more of a local copy, and hopefully that'll be better. But yeah, I didn't realize that there was an issue there. Thank you for at least pointing it out. And that's a bummer if that is an issue. All right, so we're gonna finish the rest of this finish the fish on Saturday's stream, and then we will do the bird on Saturday as well, and then we might get into working on the next build here, which would be Char Zagok. But that is going to do it for tonight's stream. I'm going to go to the main feed here, and hopefully Mary Kishi's stream done. I am aware of that. Thank you, Lord Crashington. I appreciate that. I'm going to really quick just we're going to end the stream with a raid. We always end with a stream with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you had a great I hope you have a great rest of your stream. I'm going to just quickly check my audio here and see how it sounds. That looks fine to me, so I don't know. It looks fine on my end, so I don't know. Hopefully everything worked out okay for everybody else. But we're going to go hang out with Mary Kish, who's playing Spyro the Dragon. I don't know why Mary's playing Spyro. I love that for Mary. And also, I love that it's not a Silent Hill game, because something new to worry about. Indeed. Mary rules. I love her to death. Her community is excellent. It's a comfy game. There you go. We're going to go hang out with Mary Kish. Please come along on this raid. If you came in from Bad Gumple raid, welcome. Happy to have you here. If you've been here all night just because you're looking at Makers and Crafting, or you know me, come along on the raid. You'll love Mary. I will be back on Saturday. We will keep doing some Lego. I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.